What is up, everybody, and welcome back. I am Brian, the host of this YouTube channel here, Finned Up. This is my officially first real video. So to everybody who's watching out there, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to do a Week 4 preview of the Buffalo Bills this week. So I've been a lifelong Miami Dolphins fan, and I've seen this matchup go a lot of different ways in my 29 years of life and 29 years of being a Dolphins fan. But definitely prior to last year, it was pretty much all Bills. I'm going to be honest with you. I absolutely hate the Buffalo Bills. They're a division rival. They have kicked the crap out of us, in recent memory. And when I was a kid, first ever Miami Dolphins game I went to, me and my dad drove up to Buffalo. We're from northeastern Ohio, so it's a little bit of a drive, but it's not too far. And, I was like 11 or 12 years old, something like that, somewhere in that range. And, I as an adult who's gone to other games at other stadiums, I haven't been berated nearly as much for wearing the opposing team's jersey as I was berated as a child in Buffalo. So I really just don't like the Bills. I don't like Bills fan. I don't like Buffalo. The only good thing they got going for them is wings. So I really, really, really want to see the Dolphins win this game. And I think they will because they're putting up some historic numbers. And with that, let's jump into the offense. So last week, Dolphins, as most people know, has been talked about quite a bit, scored 70 points against the Broncos, which is absolutely insane. It hasn't happened since the 60s. Prior to that game in 1966, hasn't happened since 1954. And it made no sense. I was sitting there watching the game, and it's just they could do whatever they wanted, and it was absolutely bananas. But the worst part is, it wasn't even the biggest game story of the week. Somehow, some way, Taylor Swift took over the NFL storylines, and the 70-point game, which was absolutely ridiculous, kind of got pushed to the side for Taylor Swift, which shout out to Swifties out there. You guys deserve it. You guys are hardcore fans. I respect all Swifties and Taylor Swift fans out there. So, you did what you had to do. But man, I just wish this wasn't the week that, Taylor Swift happened to announce that she was dating Travis Kelce. If it was the week before, fine. That's great. I just wanted attention to the 70-point game, because the Dolphins offense is absolutely on fire. They can do whatever they want. Let's look at it this way. They put up 170 points in 3 games. 170 points. I think the Dallas Cowboys record, correct me if I'm wrong, was 172 points through 3 games. So the Dolphins are 2 points behind a historic pace from 1970 when Roger Staubach and Tom Landry and the, Dallas Cowboys were putting up crazy numbers. The thing that really blows my mind is they have left points on the table every single week. They should have blown the Dallas Cowboys pacing record at this point in time completely out of the water. If you look at the Chargers game, they had a red zone fumble on the first drive where they were just doing whatever they want, just marching it down the field. Chargers defense was not stopping them on that drive. And then at the end of the game, after Tua throws the beautiful fade to Tyreek Hill, just absolute, it was he threw it through to the defender. It was that perfect of a pass. Throws that pass, gets the Dolphins ahead late in the game, take the lead. It's 36, 32, 33, 36, 36-34. That was the score. 36-34. Jason Sanders whiffs the extra field point. So that's another point. They just had horrendous special teams against New England with a blocked field goal, and then Jason Sanders just can't kick plus 50 yards anymore. I don't know why, I keep trying. And then in the Broncos, Miami Mike elected not to kick the field goal for the record breaker, and that's another 3 points. So they've left 17 points on the table. 17 points. Some of it was just shooting themselves in the foot, bad special teams, Mike McDaniel choosing to have more sportsmanship than the rest of us wanted to. We all wanted the record. I think Broncos fans wanted the record. We all wanted it to happen. But 70 points, 17 points left on the table. They could have had 187 points easily through these first 3 games. That would have beaten the Cowboys by 15. Now, like, maybe something similar happened. I don't know. I don't remember what the NFL season was like in those first 3 games of 1970 when the Cowboys were doing their thing. But they could have easily have blown that Cowboys offense out of the water with their point total. It's absolutely nuts what they're doing right now. And it's all because of the man that I like to call the Samoan sniper. Tua Donnie Tungavailoa is lighting the world on fire. He doesn't have the rocket arm like Patrick Mahomes or, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. He can't run around like Jalen Hurts or, Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields or these guys, which Justin Fields does not look good. Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson really haven't looked that good, but that's beside the point. But Tua he just knows exactly what he's going to do with the ball. Like pre-snap, post-snap, reads the defense and just lets it go. And he could put it absolutely where he wants. I mean, sure, he's had some bad throws. He's had some poor decisions. Nobody's perfect, but dude's playing as close to perfect as possible. The only quarterback that's even, remotely competing with his statistics is Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins is 0-3. Tua is 3-0. In Kirk Cousins' defense, he's being let down by his entire team fumbling the ball and a Brian Flores-led defense. So, I don't necessarily blame Kirk Cousins, but, man, Tua is absolutely lighting the world on fire right now. And, he's a big reason why we're winning. Other big reason is Raheem Mostert. I could watch that man play football I could just sit down and watch Raheem Mostert highlights all day. We all know about the speed. He is lightning fast. I think the dudes, Tyreek, Jalen, Devon, Achane, and all these guys are having races in practice or something, or they talk about having races in practice, or they talk about who's fastest. But we all know Raheem's fast. That's not why I'm a big fan. That man runs angry. Every game, he's putting his shoulder down, running through people. He's staying in bounds, that touchdown against the Chargers where he was dancing on the sideline, and then Trent Green and Kevin Hartman were well, did he step out? And then they zoom in on his foot, and Trent Green's there's a lot of green there. And remember that Patriots play? He absolutely just dumpstered a defensive back and threw him to the ground on the sideline after run. This man runs angry, and I am a fan. I am here for it, loving it. Want to see Raheem Mostert do more of this stuff. And then we got our boy Devon Achane, who just was hey, I'm not going to do anything these first couple weeks. I'm not going to get the ball. They don't want me to play in this offense. And then just comes out of nowhere. And, to be fair, they were playing the Broncos defense. I will concede to that. And the Broncos defense did, concede, it looked in the second half of the game. But, similarly, dude just is a rocket. And he came out lighting the world on fire. Yeah, the offensive line was opening up big holes, but he was taking what should have been a 6 or 7 yard game, breaks a couple tackles, and absolutely takes it to the house. It was big holes, and then he made people miss and broke tackles. Big game for the rookie, and I hope it's just one of those things where it's you can't not keep playing him. You know what I mean? I get it. Savon Ahmed is going to come back from injury at some point. Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to come back from injury at some point. But, how do you justify taking Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane off the field? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. And the best part is they put up 70 points without Jalen Waddle. They put up 70 points without Jalen Waddle. And he's back this week. It's how do you stop this offense? We're just going to take the 4 fastest people in the NFL, and we're just going to put them all on the same offense and just say, and then we're going to run them around. Mike McDaniel is going to do this crazy pre-snap motion stuff, which is awesome, and I'm here for it. I love it every single time I see it. And we're just going to let them run, and we're going to let them go. Oh, and then we're going to have Tua back there doing crazy ball handling stuff, throwing no-look, right-handed shovel passes. He's going to put the ball on the money every single time. He's going to throw it medium. He's going to throw it deep. He's going to hit them perfectly. How do you stop this offense? And that's why I don't get the national narrative that's still going on. I mean, a lot of people that were Dolphins haters on like ESPN, Fox Sports, and like all these different outlets, like they have started to come around. Like I think Stephen A. Smith is like the big example of a guy who was like not a Dolphins believer, not a Tua believer, but he seems to be giving them their flowers and giving them their love. But you have these clowns like Michael Lombardi who wrote like a PhD dissertation in a Twitter thread about why the Dolphins actually, aren't good enough to score 70 points in a game, which is like the most mind-blowing. Like they literally did it and he's like they can't score 70 points in the game, let's be honest. Like it's the most unreal thing I've ever heard. And like or like I listened to Booger McFarland on Part of My Take and he's saying like, "Oh, well like, all you got to do with the Dolphins is just be physical and man up." And it's like, bro, if you be physical and man up, they're going to run. Like, that's what the Chargers tried to do. And they're going to run past them. And then, like, people, like, people like they're saying, like, oh, this offense isn't sustainable. In what world is it not sustainable? Okay, like, the run game wasn't working against the Chargers. So what do? They throw the ball over the field. Tua throws 466 yards and 3 touchdowns and a pick. Like, beat the Chargers 36-34. Okay, like, New England comes out and does this, like, umbrella defense that, according to Dave Portnoy, like, is the blueprint for beating the Dolphins, which that was 500 words of cope that a New England Patriots fan, I guess, needed to know that, like, their dynasty isn't around anymore and they're not going to win 6 Super Bowls in the next 20 years like how they did the past 20 years. But regardless, he's like, oh, like, they figured out the Dolphins offense. This is the blueprint. You play this umbrella-style defense. Like, dude, the Dolphins ran all over them. Like, Raheem Mostert had a 41-yard run. I mean, I think they were running around like 4-5 yards a clip against New England. Like, yeah, they weren't passing the ball over the field. Tua still played really well. The screen to Waddle was great. The downfield throw to Waddle was great. The best throw of the night was Braxton Berrios to the corner, like on the 2-yard line before he stepped out of bounds, which set up the touchdown before the half. Like, chef's kiss. You can't do it any better. So it's like, okay, you can't, like, they're stopping the run, that's fine. We're going to throw the ball over you. All right, you're stopping the pass, that's fine. We're going to run the ball over you. And then you have, like, the Denver Broncos who, like, just decide to not play defense at all. And it's like they run all over you. They throw all over you. And, like, how is that not sustainable? They put up 350 rushing yards, 376 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, 5 running touchdowns. Like, that is literally the most balanced offensive game you could have ever. Like, and I don't understand how people are saying in the national narrative, like on ESPN and all these people, like, oh, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Like, yeah, they didn't play the greatest defense in the world in the Denver Broncos, but like the Bills haven't been playing the greatest offenses in the world, which their defense is getting tons of talk and tons of hype. Like, they played the Jets, the Raiders, and the Washington Commanders. And yet everybody's talking about how, oh, the Bills defense is playing great. The Bills defense is playing out of their mind. And it's like, but nobody says like, oh, but like it's not sustainable. You can't do this forever. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, like you could say the same thing about the Bills. They're not playing bad offenses week in and week out. Like the thing I'm most excited about this is like I respect Sean McDermott and I respect Mike McDaniel. I think they're both really good coaches, and they're both giving each other tons of respect. And I think it's going to be a really fun game where you have this unstoppable force in the Dolphins offense and then this immovable object in the Bills defense. And they're just like coming right together. Like, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm just really looking forward to it. On the other side of the ball, like, the Dolphins defense isn't bad. And the Bills offense is not bad either. Like, both are very, like, I think the strength is on the other side of the ball for both of these teams. But, like, Bills offense and Dolphins defense is also going to be fun to watch. Like, yes, the first game against the Chargers was bad. Like, I think they ran, like, 230-plus yards something. But, like, they didn't run the ball. New England did not run the ball against the Dolphins. Denver, outside of some good drives here and there, didn't really do much against the Dolphins either. And, like, that makes sense to me. Like, I think it's just, like, you had the Brian Flores scheme with what was the guy's name? Everybody hates him. The defensive coordinator last year who was like a Brian Flores disciple, like man up, blitz zero, like pressure, all this different stuff. And then you go from that to the Vic Fangio, which is, 4-man rushes, a lot of zone, prevent big plays, keep it in front of you. And like, it's a pretty big philosophical change. And I think that's just going to take time. It's going to get better as the season goes on. I mean, they still got a lot of playmakers. Javon Holland is going to be all pro this. If he keeps this play up, he's going to be all pro this season. He had 2 peanut punches, against the Broncos on Sunday, forcing 2 fumbles. It was awesome. He tackles well, he covers well, he makes big plays, he causes turnovers. I think he's going to get a pick against Josh Allen this week. Like, I think it's going to be a thing where Josh Allen wants to play hero ball to keep up with the Dolphins offense, and he's going to do some stupid stuff where he tries to push the ball downfield and throw into crazy coverage, and I think Javon Holland's going to capitalize on that and get a pick. And then you have, Andrew Van Ginkel, who everybody wrote him off. Like, I don't understand how this guy didn't play last year. He played great under Flores, and then disappears under Josh Boyer. That was the defensive coordinator. Josh Boyer's defense. And, I don't understand how he didn't play. Because he comes back in, replacement for Jalen Phillips, who's hurt, which sucks because Jalen Phillips is also very good. But Andrew Van Ginkel's out there just making plays like a man on fire. These dudes just out there doing crazy stuff. And, how did he not get more playtime last year? It makes 0 sense, but I don't care. He's doing great things. And you got Bradley Chubb on the other side of the ball, who Rodney Smith on Sunday Night Football, famed Patriots homer, decided to say before the game started, Bradley Chubb's not doing anything. Pretty sure he had a sack and a forced fumble in that game, and he's starting to come alive and play really well, so I'm really excited about it. And the best part is, we haven't seen our best defensive player play yet in Jalen Ramsey, which is the most insane part. Because once Jalen Ramsey's on the field, this defense is going to get so much better. X is kind of washed on the other side, but you got Kader Kohu, who's a great player. I think at some point Cam Smith, who's a rookie, is going to start seeing play time, and I think he's going to be really good. We're going to see how it goes. But at the end of the day, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are still Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. The offense is good. They can put up points. They've historically put up points against the Dolphins defense. I would love for this to be a 56-10 game, but I just don't think that's realistic. I think both teams are going to, the Bills defense is going to win sometimes. The offense is going to win. Dolphins offense is going to win sometimes, and vice versa. Bills offense is going to make plays. Dolphins defense is going to make plays. I think it's just going to be a really fun, competitive back and forth game, and I'm really looking forward to it. And that gets me to my score prediction. I think the Dolphins are going to win. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think they're going to win 35-31. I think they're going to put up points. The Bills are going to put up points, but, I got to root for the Dolphins. Going into Orchard Park and getting their second divisional win to go 4-0, and then the Bills are going to fall to 2-2. I mean, that's huge for the division. Because most likely the Patriots are going to lose to the Cowboys. The Patriots could upset the Cowboys. That wouldn't surprise me, but I think most likely they're going to lose. So the Patriots are going to fall to 1-3. There's absolutely no way in hell the Jets are beating the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday night. That's just not going to happen. If it happens, I will cut off the tip of this pinky. But it's just not going to. So the Jets are going to fall to 1-3. And so at that point, Dolphins 4-0 in the division, Bills 2-2, 1-3 at the bottom of the division. That is a huge lead through the first month of the season. And it's just at that point, there has to be a colossal collapse for them to miss the playoffs and not get a good seed. So I'm really excited about this. If the Dolphins win the game, it's a great lead and a great start to win the division. It really sets them up well for the rest of the year. And then also going on the road and beating the Bills, who are scumbags who throw snowballs and berate small children. That's always good and fun to watch as well. So thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you for tuning in to the preview of this Week 4 matchup of the Dolphins versus the Bills. Had a lot of fun talking about it. Had a lot of fun, going through it, making some notes and, watching previous games and all this different stuff. And I will be back Monday morning, post-game for a little game in review. We'll see if the Dolphins win, see if the Bills win. I will give you my honest, emotional reaction on that Monday, whether it's Victory Monday or Sad, Depressed Monday. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys next time.